Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Hour of Power radio show. Just want to remind everyone, if you wanted to get in touch with us, the email address is hourofpowershow@gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know that you're out there. We want to know who's listening and what's going on, all that kind of good stuff. You can also get to us on the chat. You can get to us through Facebook. You can get to us many different ways. We want to know what you guys think and what's going on out there.
Right.
We're going to be taking a shot of beer every minute for the next about 40 minutes. There's one right there.
46.
Feel free to play along at home. All right, before we left, we were talking about the NHL. The big game tonight is going to be the Sharks-Red Wings. The Sharks were up 3-0 on the Red Wings, I think the last time we were speaking, and they have now gone down 3 games, so now it's 3-3 tied going into the 7th game. Which was very disturbing. All the games were very disturbing. A lot of them, they just seemed like they weren't skating hard enough, basically. I mean, if you want to break it down to its basic elements, the Red Wings were just skating faster, just skating harder. And that's what you get with experience. The Sharks have a few people who have cup rings that they've brought in through trades, but a lot of their people are young and a little bit unexperienced.
Well, the guy they brought in with a cup ring from last year, Niemi, is just... What the hell does he do sometimes? I swear, sometimes he's just napping in the goalie box.
That's true, but a lot of the games he's been doing really well. I mean, the 3 games last in Game 6 wasn't really indicative of how well he played. He held off for 40 minutes. He held off 2.5 times what the Sharks had shot, the Red Wings shot on him. So the Red Wings took a bunch of shots, and he really held them in that game. But the Sharks just weren't able to find the back of the net. So hopefully they can do that tonight, but I think tonight it's going to come down to experience, and the Red Wings have it. They have a lot of people who have won big games, and the Sharks are known for failing in big games, basically. So, it's going to be tough. If they can get their power play to actually score when they have that opportunity, they would have a very good chance to win, because they have a very good power play. It just hasn't been there this series. So if they can do that, and if they can skate hard, if they can keep up with the Red Wings all game, they very easily could win this game. But my guess is that the Red Wings experience, this is a Game 7. None of them really care. I mean, they're not blinking an eye. It's just another game to them. For the Sharks, it's something bigger than that. So it's going to be very tough, but I think they definitely could pull it out. And I'm not going to pick against them, but I'm just saying that I think it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and so the next round, what are we looking at?
The next round, we're going to be looking at Boston-Tampa Bay. Should be great. Tampa Bay is pretty small, but it's in Florida, and it's on the East Coast, so that'll probably get some good viewership. Boston, of course, will be big. It's a big market.
They didn't fail this year against the Flyers.
They did not fail this year against the Flyers. And so that should be a really good matchup. It should be very hard fought. Both teams are physical. It should be a really great one to watch. Vancouver sitting there waiting to see who's going to come and play them. Starting in Vancouver, I think, on Sunday. Vancouver's a good team. It's got a very good goalie, can score a lot. It's going to be tough for either the Sharks or the Red Wings to beat them. Basically, I think that's a toss-up series. That series is going to go 7 games, probably, no matter which one of those teams shows up to play the Canucks. So they're a good team. They got their flaws, especially on defense, the Canucks do. And I think both the Sharks and Detroit can exploit that. I think both the Sharks and the Red Wings have very good defense. That's why they can't exploit it on each other. But I think that the Vancouver's defense is a little bit of a step below. So if they can beat the defense and then beat Luongo, who is an incredibly good goalie, they should do just fine.
By the way, Tracy just pointed out that you said that they get faster and harder with experience. That's what she said. So nice. All right. Thank you for pointing that out, Tracy. That's awesome.
You. Yeah.
All right. So, all right, Matthew. Thank you for recapping the NHL playoffs. We'll go ahead and give you a quick update on the NHL playoffs in case you've been living in some sort of cave for the last week.
And Christy's actually watching us too.
Hi, Fez.
Hey, the Fez.
All right, so the NBA. Last night we had the Miami Heat finish off their series against the Boston Celtics. Boston pretty much led the whole game. It was a close game, though. I mean, it was down to 2 points to get up to about 7 or so. And then Miami just decided in the last 4 minutes, you know what, we've had enough of this. Screw it. and they just went on a run. I think they scored the last 16 points of the game. They were down, I think, 6 or so with about 4:30 or so left, and ended up winning the game by 10. LeBron James scored the last 10 points of the game. He hit 2 threes, had a steal on a fast break dunk, and then also just basically drove the lane on Boston's pretty vaunted defense and just threw it down. Then James Jones hit a big 3 down the stretch. I've never seen a collapse like that in a game where a team's back was up against the wall. They were up by 6, and they couldn't do anything to stop Miami from that point on. So Miami's moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Since we saw you guys last week, Dallas absolutely embarrassed the Lakers. Insanely embarrassed them. The score is 122-86.
Yeah, and this was in a game when they were an elimination game. This wasn't like anything else.
Yeah.
This was their elimination.
This is an
move on
an embarrassment game.
Yeah.
Lakers don't want to get swept. They're the Lakers. They don't get swept, And what do? They come out and lay an absolute egg. Of course, it doesn't help that the Mavericks pretty much shot record 3 percentage. Let me check here. They were 20 for 32 from 3. 20 for 32. It's ridiculous. Let's see here. Yeah, Jason.
They only missed a baker's dozen times.
No, they actually only missed a dozen times.
I thought you said 13.
20 for 32.
Oh, sorry. I heard a different number. I thought you said 20 for 33.
It's okay. Jason Terry went 9 for 10. 9 for 10 from 3. It's ridiculous. He tied the single game playoff record for most threes by a player, and Dallas tied the team record with 23s. It was absolutely ridiculous. So Lakers get embarrassed and get swept. Let's see. Also going on right now, we've got 2 series that are incomplete. Oklahoma City won last night against Memphis going away. I think it was 99-72 or something like that. And to go up 3-2 over Memphis. And then Chicago is facing Atlanta tonight. Chicago's up 3-2 as well, as we mentioned earlier, the biggest game of their lives. They're going to be try to end the series and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Exactly, and that should be a really good finals if Chicago can pull it off and play against LeBron James. That should be highly rated, big superstars, and that's what really makes basketball enjoyable for those who watch basketball. Is they like the big names. They want the big names in there. They want to be able to see all of that. They want to see the Derrick Rose versus LeBron James. They want to see what that is like.
Right. And so, they're pretty excited about this. They're going to have a great Eastern Conference final, obviously. Rose versus James and Wade. See if, the Chicago defense with only 1 scorer can hold down Miami thrice. And then in the Eastern Conference, they're going to see if Dirk Nowitzki can finally return to the promised land. He's only made it to the finals once. That's been the big throwback or big knock against Nowitzki, is that he's never been able to deliver a ring. Great player, but he's always had limited talent around him. So they're going to see if he can end up finally winning his first ring, going up against the young stars of Westbrook and Durant of Oklahoma City, or the upstart Memphis Grizzlies, who before this season had never won a playoff game, let alone a playoff series.
Wow, that's really good. You like to see that from a small market, young team. You like to see a lot of action. You like to see them really stepping it up.
Plus, no, never mind. I think I'm thinking of a different team. I don't think Memphis fired the coach mid-season. But either way, it's a great story for Memphis, to basically rise from the ashes and go on the strong playoff run. So now you're caught up on the NHL and NBA playoffs.
Indeed. Now we're going to do a little bit of baseball talk before we get on to our nonsense.
Right.
We're going to baseball is kind of the only thing really going right now besides the playoffs, and this is still a very young season, but as usual, people are overreacting about completely everything. So one of the first questions I'll ask you about is Derek Jeter. He plays for the Yankees, of course, has for a long time. He's having a very rough season. And then a couple of days ago, he had a really good game. And everyone said, At first, everyone's like, "Oh, he's terrible. Why did we re-sign him?" Then he has one good game, and now everybody loves him again, and he's doing really great.
Right.
So, what do you think about that situation? How that's playing off? I mean, should people worry about him? What are your thoughts on that?
Derek Jeter, as a premier player, I think his days are over. He really doesn't have a whole lot left in the tank. His bat speed slowed significantly. He's having a hard time getting around on fastballs. People with a premier fastball can blow it by him pretty easily right now. That's what the whole thing about not doing a stride earlier. For those of you guys that don't know, he adjusted his swing. Excuse me. Oh, damn it. He adjusted his swing during the spring, trying to go.
That 10 times fast.
Yeah, no kidding. Instead of lifting his foot and doing a step, just basically pivoting his hips. That didn't work out for him. He had a horrible start, and so he said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do this my way." And he started off batting only 225, 250, somewhere in that area. And then, like you said, he went 3 for 4 with 2 home runs one game. Everybody's like, and a stolen base too. Neither of which he had all season. So everybody's like, "Oh, Derek Jeter's back." So now he's batting 271. He's got 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. And 45 total bases out of 133 plate appearances. I mean, his on-base percentage is still only 322. His slugging's only 338. I mean, he's still putting up really average numbers by anybody's comparison.
Now, the other thing, I don't want to stay on the Yankees too long because neither of us really like him, but that's all ESPN talks about, so that's a lot of the stuff that I hear. But they also have other shortstops on. I mean, Troy Tulowitzki is outfielder shortstop. Am I wrong?
Tulowitzki's on the Rockies.
Who am I thinking of then? Don't they have another shortstop that they have on the roster that they're not really using right now?
I don't think so. I mean, I'll check the depth chart, but
no, it's all right. It's all right. I must be wrong. I must have misheard somebody.
No, they don't have anybody that's to know.
Well, then there you go. That was my mistake.
All right.
As usual, I make a mistake on the name that I thought went off, but who knows? He'll probably get traded there this season at some point.
That's true. All right. Before we go into Matt's further questions, we're gonna go ahead, take a drink, and then take a quick commercial.